What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of The Variety Views. I'm your host, The Variety Vendor. Enjoyed the hell out of Supercard of Honor, man. And the only reason that I wanted to watch this show is because of the main event. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch the entire show. I'm not just going to watch the main event. I'm going to watch the entire show. And I'm going to give Ring of Honor a chance. Hey, maybe it's going to be another alternative for me. Maybe it's going to be something that I'm going to be so into that I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to start watching it every week. And what a great way to begin rewatching Ring of Honor. We start off with 0 Hour. Yes, I did watch 0 Hour. The premier athletes, Tony Nese, Josh Woods, and Ari Daivari, going up against Rhett Titus, Tony Deppen, and Adam Priest. This was a fun match. I enjoyed it, and I will continue to say, Josh Woods is he's the kind of guy that you could definitely build a company around. He looks great. He's athletic. He has the wrestling background, the amateur wrestling background. He's so great in the ring. Like, when I look at him, I think of like a very young Brock Lesnar. I think of Brock Lesnar back in 2002. That's how really good he is. And I would love to see him in the mix of things in AEW, but not just yet, because I feel like AEW is so full of great talent that I think, keep him in Ring of Honor for a little bit, and then, move him over to AEW, because there's a bunch of guys in AEW that I think would benefit more in going to Ring of Honor. This match was a lot of fun, like I said before, and the premier athletes win at the end with like a crisscross body splash from both sides by Ari Daivari and Tony Nese. They almost like collided in midair. That's how bad it was. But the match itself, it was a lot of fun. Man, Rhett Titus is still going strong. It's crazy. After that, we got the Beast, Mortos, with the greatest mask in wrestling currently. I love that mask. Going up against Blake Christian. Now, the only thing that I know about Blake Christian is he's the current GCW champion. I don't know who Blake Christian is. I knew nothing about him. The only thing that I knew about him was during like the Bloodsport show that I was watching. I saw him holding the championship, and apparently he's going to be wrestling Joey Janela at Spring Break. And this is like the first match that I ever got to see him in. And man, the dude is awesome. He is like a freaking firecracker, man. He's running around like a freaking cruiserweight from the early 2000s. He's so good. He is so freaking good in the ring. The Beast, Mortos, is also another great luchador. He's also a lot of fun. This was a fun match. This was a really good. It reminded me a lot of like the cruiserweight matches from like mid '90s Nitro that they would open the show with, and it was a lot of fun. Again, the Beast, Mortos, ends up winning. That's cool, but then again, Blake Christian, he's a champion of the Indies. Like, shouldn't you be protecting him more? I don't know. So, because like, I'm sure like the audiences cross over from like the indie shows and Ring of Honor. They're pretty much at the same level. But hey, whatever. Beast wins, and I'm fine. I'm fine with that, because the Beast Mortos is awesome. Then after that, we got Griff Garrison and Cole Carter being accompanied to the ring by Maria Kanellis. I didn't even know that Griff Garrison still wrestled in Ring of Honor. I remember him being in AEW, but I completely forgot about him. They're going up against the Spanish Announce Project, Angelico and Serpentico. Angelico is one of the most underrated and underutilized professional wrestlers in the business right now. This guy is so freaking cool. I've followed his career since Lucha Underground, and would watch his matches here and there. Whenever he shows up in AEW, I was, I would always perk up and be like, ooh, Angelico. I love Angelico, man. Like, this guy, man, I don't know. Like TH2, when he was with Jack Evans, they were the team that I really wanted to be the top team in AEW, but I don't know what happened there. So at the end, Griff Garrison and Cole Carter end up winning. They cheated, with the help of Maria Kanellis. I don't know what they're doing. Because Griff Garrison is still, I don't see any improvement from his side. The last time I got to see him was during a Adam Copeland Open Challenge on Collision, and I don't know. I don't see the appeal of Griff Garrison, honestly. So yeah. After that, we got let's see, Mariah May versus Momo Kohgo. This was a good match. This was a really good match. I'm loving Mariah May. I knew nothing about her before she signed with AEW, but she's been killing it. She's been a very important fixture in the women's division. And her time in Ring of Honor, cool. You know what? Let her work Ring of Honor. Let her get her reps in. Let her really learn the American style and really working the camera and everything. And continue to build a name for herself. She was, I believe she was a big name in Stardom, but I think she crossed over very well. And she ended up beating Momo Kohgo. This was a fun match. It is the kind of match that I would, for a non-Ring of Honor fan, I would show. And it's quick, it's fun, it gets the point across, and I would love for Mariah May to win the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, because just think about it, her and Toni Storm both holding championships. I don't know, the idea of it, I think it's very, very appealing to me. So there you go with that. After that, we got Kyle Fletcher versus Lee Johnson. That opened the actual show. And this was freaking awesome. Kyle Fletcher went on from being the skinny dude that was having really freaking kick-ass matches to being a muscular guy, a fucking buff guy that is having main event style matches. And to the point where I'm like, the hell are you doing with the television championship? You should be mixing up with the main eventers, but you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. So Kyle Fletcher, I think, he can definitely, benefit a lot from being a top guy in Ring of Honor before moving back to AEW. Because Ring of Honor needs that. I think Ring of Honor needs that talent. I know there are a lot of people out there that would say, how come this guy's not in AEW? This guy should be in AEW. Why aren't you? You can't have an entire roster of awesome talent and neglect Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor can be filled with scrubs. You don't do that, because it's not good for business. Tony Khan, he bought Ring of Honor. He didn't buy the library just to have it, sitting on the shelf. He had it to be an actual company. This is the thing that I don't understand, what wrestling fans are, what their mindset is, where their mindset is at. They would say oh yeah, when a Ring of Honor, you should completely forget about it. Why would he forget about it? He bought it. He didn't buy it for it to be, to freaking lose it. I don't know, man. It's so weird. So yeah, Kyle Fletcher and Lee Johnson, they had a freaking kick-ass match, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. It was an awesome opener. Kyle Fletcher ends up winning. No argument for me there because I expected Kyle Fletcher to win. Lee Johnson, I have been a fan of his since he was part of the Nightmare Factory. I believe he was like paired up with Arn Anderson, and yeah, this guy is freaking awesome, you know, and he has come a long way since being part of the Nightmare Factory. And yeah, just keep getting those reps in and have more kick-ass matches like this. And Kyle Fletcher, at one point, he hit the El Generico Brainbuster in the corner. And seeing Sami Zayn do that at WrestleMania, you know, in the same weekend, like it popped me. It popped me as well, like both times. So this was great. After that, we got the Stardom Showcase match. Now I'm not gonna name the names because I'm definitely gonna butcher it. This was a fun freaking 6-woman tag. This was a fun 6-woman tag. I enjoyed the hell out of it. This was cool. This was wonderful. Go ahead and check it out because this is the kind of women's match that you should watch. So then, whenever you watch a women's match and it sucks, you don't go ahead and say, "Oh yeah, you know, but hey, you know, she worked her ass off." No. Do not ever think that just that a women's wrestler goes out there and have a bad match, it's because she's a woman, it's the handicap. No, that is freaking sexist and that is wrong. When a woman has a bad match, you should rate it the same way you would rate a male's match. It should be the same way. They should be held into the same standard. And this was a fun match. This was a very enjoyable match where you saw good talent freaking shine and be showcased in a really good light. They had a good professional wrestling match. They didn't have a good women's match. They didn't have a good men's match. They had a good women's match, and this was very, very enjoyable. So that happened, and after that, Mariah May went ahead and she popped open a champagne bottle, and started drinking with the winners. I don't know the story behind it. I can't even begin to guess. But I'm definitely going to watch Ring of Honor from now on. I'm definitely going to watch the weekly shows to see what's up with this. Because this is, I'm very, very interested in what's going on here. So they definitely got my attention. After that, we got the Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett going up against the Infantry. Now, I knew nothing about the Infantry before the Eliminator tournament for the tag team titles, but what they've been doing in AEW, I've been a big fan of. From night one, when they started cutting that promo with I believe it was with FTR, I was on board. I was like, okay, these guys, they got it. They're a great team. I'm with them. And Trish Adora, I like her. I like her in the ring. She's really good in the ring. I got to see a match of hers on, I think it was on Rampage. Yeah, she had a match on Rampage, and I was like, oh, yeah, she's really good. She's impressed me the times that she's wrestled. So I'm a fan of the Infantry, and they have a match, and man, it was so good. It was so good. I was like, man, why can't we have this Undisputed Kingdom on AEW? Why do we have them go out there and be acting like goofs and blah, blah, blah? Let them go out there and have these kind of great matches, because that is what they're all about. People tend to forget that Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are good professional wrestlers, that they're a good tag team. They're a great tag team. But, because of like the storylines that they go through, people kind of overlook their talent. They're good at what they're doing on TV, but they can be so much more. And this was a showcase of that. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. The Undisputed Kingdom end up winning and retaining their tag titles with the help of Wardlow, but hey, it's a story. There's a story going on with Adam Cole being like, hey, Wardlow, if you can't win the World Championship, then I guess now your mission is to keep our titles intact. Okay, I'm cool with that. After that, we got Billie Starkz versus Queen Aminata in the finals of the Ring of Honor Women's television title tournament. And this was a fantastic match. This was a great match. Another match that I think that a casual wrestling fan should watch. You should watch, and then, you know, I think it would open a lot of eyes to be like, yeah, this is the bar. This is the bar of wrestling matches that we should be seeing from the women. Don't go out there and give them 5 minutes and be like, oh, hey, that was a great match. That was like a 4.5 star match, and it was great. 5 minutes, because that's what they're good for. No, they went out there for almost 20 minutes, and they had a freaking fantastic match. Billie Starkz, who is not even old enough to drink, is going out there and having a match of the caliber of like a main eventer. And she's having this great match with another great women's wrestler. Great wrestler, I should say. Not a women's wrestler, a great wrestler. And they end up having a kick-ass match. Now, the one thing that I did not like, because if I'm rating this, I'm going to give this 3 3.75 stars. The reason why I can't give it like a 4 or higher is because I did not like the ending. I didn't like the ending. Now they did a good job with making you think that Billie Starkz got hurt. But the problem that I had with this is that it was used for the finals of a tournament. Now you're trying to build prestige for a championship that you are yet to introduce, that is yet to be defended. And you do something that you could do on a show, on a TV show. Like imagine seeing like a like something that you would see on Raw happen at a pay-per-view. I don't think that those things cross over. You shouldn't do that. They were on their way to having like the match of the night, but it ended with this crappy storyline, like this crappy like angle, instead of having a kick-ass match and having a definitive winner. Now there might be a story behind it, maybe there might be a reason behind it, but honestly there's nothing that justifies this. I don't like the idea of ending something like a tournament this way. So yeah, 3.75 stars I'd give this, but hey, it's still it was still a great match. It was still a match that I really, really enjoyed. Then we got Bullet Club Gold. The Guns and Jay White, they come out and they put out an open challenge for the Ring of Honor 6-man tag titles. And they're like, we're going to face anybody. And, they already have the coolest entrance. The fans are into them. They're putting up their guns. This makes me go ahead and say Bullet Club Gold shouldn't have turned heel. It should have been the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed were already losing steam. The fans were kind of, I wouldn't say sick and tired of the Acclaimed, but I feel like the Acclaimed needed like this change up in their character. They needed to change, and I think the Acclaimed should have been the ones that have turned heel. Because everybody is with the Bullet Club. They're putting their guns up. They're into them. They're chanting along. They love their entrance. They love everything about them. They're into Jay White. they're into the guns and they're cool, so I don't know. And when Juice Robinson comes back, they're gonna be even bigger. So I don't know. They go up against Monster Sauce and Minoru Suzuki. They go up against Lance Archer and Alex Zane and Minoru Suzuki. The return of Suzuki-gun, in a way. This was a fun match. This was so much fun. I gotta say, Austin Gunn, selling for Minoru Suzuki being Murder Grandpa, as the fans like to call him, and him just having so much fun, and him calling them ass boys, and calling Jay White, young boy, you're still a young boy. I love this. Minoru Suzuki is awesome. He had another match. He had a match at Bloodsport, and then the next night he goes ahead and have this match. And it's just, man, this was so awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of this. This was so much fun. Great trios match. And Bullet Club Gold ended up winning. But that was fine. I have no problem with that. But after the match, the Acclaimed come out, and then they attack Bullet Club Gold. And they stand tall, basically. They throw the belts at them. At one point, I think, was it Maskcaster or I think, yeah, Jay White hit one of the Acclaim guys. He hit them with the Blade Runner and then ran off. No, honestly, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's into this feud. Nobody's into the whole Acclaim versus Bullet Club Gold. I think they turned on each other way too soon, and honestly, again, the wrong team turned. So, yeah. After that, we got Dalton Castle versus Johnny TV in a fight without honor. This was on its way to being a fun match, but then there was it fell off a cliff in the middle. And then it just went down and down and down and down and down and down. And it became a bad match. This was a bad match. This was a bad match. I didn't like it. There were some parts where I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And I'm liking Johnny TV. Dalton Castle, continues to being a fun character. But man, he's losing it. It's not like he was like a couple years ago when he was like the most over thing in all of Ring of Honor. But man, I don't know what happened. And Johnny TV, John Morrison, Johnny TV, he continues to be the guy that can work any style. But even he couldn't save this. This was bad. And at the end, they had a thumbtack spot. They had a replacement for the boys, where Dalton Castle threw those guys over the top rope and blah blah. This was bad. Whatever. Moving on. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. This was just a bad match. If you're gonna watch the show, skip this match. It really doesn't matter. And Dalton Castle won. After that, we got Athena versus Hikaru Shida. This was the second most anticipated match for me because I love Athena and I love Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida is my favorite female wrestler in the world right now. As far as wrestling goes, she's my favorite. I love watching her wrestle. She had a match here and it was awesome. It was an awesome match. I really enjoyed it. There was a great story going into it. Athena, I think, has the longest title reign as far as a women's champion in Ring of Honor. And there's this story that Athena never beat Hikaru Shida. They're having this match. And I was like, man, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome. And then Athena won. I was like, you should have given the title to Hikaru Shida. I think this was time. This was perfect. I think Hikaru Shida could have won this. And then you move Athena to AEW. And you have Hikaru Shida be the person that you would build the entire division around. And, you know, you would bring up those women, and then, like I said before, then you bring Mariah May into the mix, because you got the Sheeta and Toni Storm history. There's a lot of things that you can work with there. So I think that would have been much more interesting. But you kept the title on Athena, fine. You can still go with my idea with putting the title on Mariah May. You can still have Mariah May versus Athena. That's a fresh match that I don't think we ever got. We might have gotten that maybe in Stardom or whatever, but that is a fresh match. I think that is a match that they can main event in the next Ring of Honor show. So, yeah, great match. Really enjoyed it. I don't agree with the ending. I don't agree with Athena being the one to win, but it didn't, I don't think it ruined the match. It still didn't ruin the match. It was a great match. Really enjoyed it. Honestly, it was the best women's match of the weekend. This was great. Like, I freaking, like, I would almost go as far to say this was match of the night. But, we would get into the main event. My most anticipated match, Mark Briscoe going up for Eddie Kingston. Can Chicken man up? This was awesome. This was awesome. So much drama, so much emotion going into this. The video packages, everything. Mark Briscoe coming out to Leonard Skinner. The music that was used for the Briscoes, you know, in early Ring of Honor. Everything about this. They bled, they cried. This was, and Mark Briscoe ends up winning with, you know, with the J Driller. And man, like, I love this. And at the end, like, there was a big celebration. You see, this is what you do. You have two guys. They have history, and you have a story, and you have a path, and you have like this roller coaster ride, and then it ends, and it's just like it's a battle. What more can I say? This was great. Mark Briscoe, you can't have a better champion than Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is like the modern day version of Dusty Rhodes, I gotta say. You know, you look at the common man. The common man that is not afraid to go out there and get a little bit of dirt under his nails, to you know, to go out there and fight the good fight. Mark Briscoe, he is the modern day version of Dusty Rhodes, I gotta say. This guy he's one of the best baby faces in wrestling right now. Like, and this match not only proved that, but it also proved what a great wrestler he is. Even though that he's been doing this for so long, you know, over 20 years, 22 years he's been wrestling, and he's still freaking awesome. So, great match. If I would rate up, I'd probably give it like 4.5 stars. This is how great it was. And the show as a whole, I'd give it an 8.5. This was awesome show. Go ahead and check it out, especially the two main events. Like, the entire show was great. The entire show was great. You had a lot of fun matches, but the two main events are freaking awesome. So that's all I gotta say about that. And yeah, Ring of Honor, man. Ring of Honor is still knocking it out of the park. You know, some people, you know, would like to count Ring of Honor out and be like, oh, it's a dead brand, it's a dead brand. And they go out there and have a show like this. Goes to show, you know, true talent always shines through. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with everybody. And check out my next video to talk about something else. Take care.